Hello and welcome to all the viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle here on Global Television. We're live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Edikan Michael. President Bola Tinubu has flagged off the summit of African First Ladies in Abuja. The president also launched the Organization of African First Ladies for Development, a program focusing on health, education, economic empowerment, and gender-based violence, which is already running in 15 other African countries. Our president, while flagging off the event at the State House Conference Center, Abuja, noted that the campaign in Nigeria focuses on education as a powerful tool for change and is critical for Africa's development. The Nigerian Senate has adjourned Tuesday's plenary session in honor of a member of the House of Representatives, Issa Dagoyera, who died on Friday after a brief illness. This followed a 1-minute silence by the upper chamber in honor of the lawmaker who was a member of the House of Representatives. Kikolemo Kerek report more.
Until his death, the 46-year-old lawmaker represented Bakura Garki Federal Constituency of Jigawa State in the 10th Assembly of the House of Representatives. The decision to suspend the plenary was carried out in line with the tradition of the National Assembly following a motion moved by Deputy Senate Speaker, Senator Lola Ashiru, and seconded by the Minority Leader, Senator Abba Moro. The President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, while putting the motion to a voice note, which was supported by senators, commiserate with the families of the deceased lawmaker and the government and the people of Jigawa State.
Until his death, Honorable Issa Dogoyaro represented Babura Gariki Federal Constituency of Jigawa State and was the Deputy Chairman, House Committee on HIV and AIDS, and also tuberculosis and malaria. I request the Senate to observe a minute silence in his honor, and please accept, distinguished senators, my highest considerations. So, this is communicated to us through our clerk. In line with our tradition, we'll observe a minute silence, and then we'll bring the proceedings to an end in honor of the departed Dogoyaro. May we rise to do so.
The upper chamber, after a minute silence in honor of the deceased lawmaker, adjourned plenary till Wednesday, 15th May 2024. Kikeloma Okeri, Global Television News.
An appeal has been made to the federal government to ensure that its ministries, departments, and agencies fully implement the provisions of Discrimination Against Persons with Disabilities Prohibition Act. The appeal was made during a review of the implementation of the Act by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities in collaboration with Disability Rights Advocacy Center and Fourth Foundation in Abuja. Our correspondent Fauzia Likman has a report.
Reviewing the progress made on implementation of the Discrimination Against Persons with Disability Prohibition Act, the Executive Secretary, National Commissions for Persons with Disabilities, Dr. James Lalo, said the Commission engaged the services of different stakeholders to ascertain the level of compliance.
At the moment, we are working towards engaging the services of different important stakeholders and consultants who are expected to provide the necessary capacity building. It is a very long-term process, but we have to, from the beginning, have to build the necessary experts first.
Senior Program Officer, Ford Foundation, Dabeseki Mark Ikemejimina, called on federal, state, and local government to put more resources to address issues that affect persons with disabilities.
Government, and actually including local government, need to put more resources on the table to address both the substantive issues that affect persons with disability in terms of their access to education and healthcare and their basic needs, to the bigger issues around investing in infrastructure to make sure that they're able to have access to facilities as needed.
Speaking to journalists on inclusion implementation, Chairman House Committee on Disability Matters, Honorable Bashir Daudu, said the National Assembly is doing everything possible to ensure compliance of the Act by all ministries, departments, and agencies.
We made the law, so there are a lot of responsibility in terms of ensuring compliance. What we have done in our committee is that we went to the floor of the House and move a motion to investigate compliance. We want
Highlight of the event is exploring trends in data collected by various stakeholders and discussions on lessons learned from the disability inclusive grant making. Fawzia Lukman, reporting for Global TV News.
And now the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has preferred the fresh charge against the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Godwin Emefiele, over an allegation that he illegally printed Naira notes while he elsewhere at the Apex Bank. The anti-graft agency in the 4-count charge it's entered before the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, equally accused the former CBN boss of unlawfully approving the withdrawal of about 124.8 billion naira from the Consolidated Revenue Fund. According to EFCC, the defendant, acting in violation of law and with intent to cause injury to the public, approved the printing of Naira notes without the approval of both the former President Muhammadu Buhari and the board of the Central Bank of Nigeria. The Independent National Electoral Commission has announced a deadline of May 20, 2024 for political parties to submit their candidate list for the upcoming Ondo state governorship election. The directive was issued during a crucial meeting at the INEC headquarters in Abuja, convened by chairmen and senior leaders from various political parties. Now, residents of the northeast state of Adamawa, Taraba, Yobe, and Borno have lamented the current blackout attributed to the damage of one of the transmission lines serving the region. The incident had left the residents without electricity for several months, leading to difficulty for businesses and individuals alike. And now the federal government has said it will embark on a comprehensive review, restructuring and reform of the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, to meet the demand of the future. Minister of Youth Development Dr. Jamila Ibrahim started these at the opening ceremony of the maiden meeting of NYSC management with heads of core producing institutions in Nigeria, held at the National Judicial Institute in Abuja. The minister also announced that over 5,000 core members have their entrepreneurial ventures funded with up to 10 million naira. I will go on a quick break right now. As we return on News Cycle, we're taking a look at federal government says it plans performance-based salary scheme for workers. These and other top stories will come in after this break. Do stay with us. Welcome back. A minute time for Stay With Us. On the foreign scene, the United Nations says one of its staff members was killed and another injured as they traveled to a hospital in southern Gaza. He said the workers were traveling in a United Nations vehicle to the European hospital near Rafah when it was struck. The United Nations did not mention who it thought was responsible for the attack. The Israeli military said an initial inquiry indicated the vehicle was struck in an active combat zone and it had not been made aware of its route. Now, United States Secretary of State Anthony Blinken has told Ukraine President Zelensky during a trip to Kyiv that part of a major United States aid package had arrived in the Ukraine and that more was on its way that was going to make a significant difference. Blinken's trip is the first by a senior United States official since Congress passed a long-delayed $61 billion aid package last month. These outmanned troops are battling a new Russian offensive in the northeast as well as assaults in the east. And as we get to business, Accelerating Nutrition Results in Nigeria project, a state-led and World Bank-funded project that aims to increase the utilization of quality, cost-effective nutrition services for pregnant and lactating women, adolescent girls, and children under 5 years of age, has met with stakeholders to assess progress of the program. Samuel Odi completes the report.
The project, which is owned by Niger State and funded by World Bank, is aimed to increase the utilization of quality, cost-effective nutrition services for pregnant and lactating women, adolescent girls and children under 5 years of age. The Commissioner explained that the stakeholders involved in the project are gathered to review the success, challenge faced during the implementation of the project.
As you are aware, the nutrition status of most Nigerians has some challenges, but ours was a bit heightened by the fact that we are one of the states that have been bedeviled by insurgency and banditry. Thank God, right now we have an administration that is working tirelessly to ensure that we get rid of some of those miscreants through both kinetic and non-kinetic actions. And this has at least steadied the ship, and we are at least in getting most of the areas that were hitherto unreachable. At least it has improved.
Bello noted that the issues of insecurity was a major challenge faced during the implementation, stressing that the state government would continue with the project.
Yes, actually posed a lot of challenges because most of our rural dwellers were displaced and they were camped in IDP camps. Some, even the ID camps were attacked at some point. So you can see that that really will provide a nutritional challenge for the people of the state.
Others who spoke at the occasion were the Executive Director of African Youth Growth Foundation, Dr. Arome Seilfo, and Dr. Uche Prince Obiodun, Project Director, Plan International for Niger State.
The ARIN project is a project funded by the World Bank to give the state government the opportunity to accelerate nutritional support to the communities and the most vulnerable population in the state, targeting children of under 5, lactating, nursing, and expectant mothers. AYGF in the last 3 years has been working with stakeholders and partners on the ground, including traditional rulers, religious leaders, community, young people, women, and of course even children. Development of a child on one side, and of course nutritional development of women on the other side. We're looking at folic acid, micronutrient powder, provision of vitamin A, albendazole, and many other services, including counseling services to women, to women in the communities.
On the project objectives. So, and the records are there to speak for itself. So far, we have reached over 623,000 individuals on the project, and this includes mothers, including adolescent mothers as well, and children under 5 years of age. So, to add to that is that we have also been able to work effectively despite the challenging context in Niger State.
Samuel Odi reporting for Global Television.
The recent hike in the monetary policy rate by 600 basis points so far in the current year to 24.75% is rubbing off positively on yields across various investment windows, especially treasury bills. It is believed by some analysts that a step taken by the Central Bank of Nigeria to mop up liquidity to cut down inflation rate has seen yields in treasury bills rise, thereby attracting 193 billion naira from the 19.66 trillion pension fund assets between January and March 2024. This bond and treasury bills markets recorded a significant yield rise in 2024 as average yield in the bond market increased from 14.18% on the first trading day of the year to 19.29% as of March 26, 2024. Now, point of sales operators under the aegis of National President of Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents in Nigeria says it has concluded plans to head to court in a bid to address what it called the legality of the Mandatory Corporate Affairs Commission for its members. A president of the association, Fasasi, faulted the directive mandating POS operators to register with the commission, saying the move had forced the association to go to court to seek a redress. He asserted that the directive from the CSC violated the provision of the Companies and Allied Matters Act laws of the Federation of Nigeria 24, which explicitly states that the commission has no jurisdiction over individuals nor operating as a company. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission has announced the commencement of bidding process for the 12 oil blocks recently listed for sale. It also signals the start of the 2024 Nigeria Petroleum licensing round and the resumption of the 2022-2023 mini bid round. This was contained in a press release signed by the Commission's Chief Executive, Gabinga, in Abuja. The federal government may need to raise the supplementary budget to accommodate the proposed minimum wage increase for workers. This is because the negotiated amount may surpass the budgeted amount in the original 2024 budget. The authorities noted that a supplementary budget may be needed to accommodate the outcome of the ongoing wage structure negotiations, which may exceed what they had included in the 2024 budget. The federal government said a new minimum wage system based on employees' productivity is on the way in the civil service. The government said with the system, workers on the same level could earn different salaries. The government said the formulation of an innovative wage system was being considered because it realized that productivity was a key factor in the growth of the country's economy. The Director General of the National Productivity Center, Nasiri Rajit Mustafa, disclosed this during a meeting with Labour correspondents. The Naira has depreciated to 1,520 per dollar in the parallel market from 1,470 per dollar. Similarly, the Naira depreciated in the Nigerian foreign exchange markets to 1,478.11%. Data from show that the indicative exchange rate for rose to 1,478.11 per dollar from 1,466 to 31 per dollar, indicating 11.8 depreciation for the Naira. And in sports news, Super Eagles head coach Finidi George has declared his immediate target is qualifying Nigeria for the 2026 World Cup slated for Canada, Mexico, and the United States. He made the declaration after he was officially unveiled to the press as the new head coach of the Nigerian senior men national team by the Minister of Sport and Development, John Eno, and President of the Nigeria Football Federation, Ibrahim Gusso, at the Moshid Abiola National Stadium, Abuja. Raphael Varane announced that he will leave Manchester United at the end of the season when his contract expires following a 3-year spell at Old Trafford. The former France defender, 31, arrived at the club from Real Madrid in 2021 for an initial fee of about $34 million and to $43 million and was made 93 appearances, scoring twice. He was part of the team that won the club's first trophy for 6 years, the 2023 League Club. Varane, whose United career has been disrupted by the injuries, has not played since the 4-3 defeat to Chelsea on April 4, but hopes to be available again before the end of the campaign. And that's a package on news cycle coming to you live from Nigeria's capital. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using our Global TV, NG, and all the handles are shown on the screen. I'm American Michael, and shortly by 6:30 we'll bring you Big Talk, where we'll extract some top political stories. Do stay with us.